to sell a product or service, make sure you have a unique video advertisement specific to that product or service. And there's an actual scale and a worksheet that we've created to help you identify what you should focus on. So let's talk about that here. It's a short questionnaire. I'll give this to you guys so you have it as a resource, but for the sake of time, I'll kind of jam through them. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to score each of these categories on a scale of 1 to 10. So question number 1 is, how easy is it to find your target audience? Like on Facebook or Instagram, for example, if somebody's into cats, they're into cats because everything that they like on Facebook is cat related. They're posting things with their animals, etc. Versus like, does somebody want to buy a house? That's not something that someone's really passionate about. So it's a little bit more difficult to find those people. Next is, how active is your audience on Facebook? Third is, how bad does your ideal customer want your service? 4, how non-competitive is your niche? 5, how affordable is your product or service? 6, which objective are you trying to accomplish? Now, let me break this down here. So in the top right corner here in this box that you see, I've given the outcomes that most companies typically have when they're advertising. So one of those is purchasing online. One of those is getting people to meet you in person. It's booking a paid appointment, registering for a webinar, an inbound phone call. Anyways, there's a list of them here. And I've given them all scores next to them. So for example, if your only objective is to collect name, email, and phone number, then I give that an 8 because that's relatively easy when creating a video advertisement. However, if you don't want to talk to anybody at all and you just want someone to take out their credit card and to make a purchase, that's difficult. That's challenging. Not impossible, but it is hard. So you would score it accordingly. Now, continuing in, next is, what's your social presence? Do you have any brand awareness? I run into a lot of companies that have been around for 10, 20, 30 years, but you're non-existent on social media. So it definitely affects your conversions, because when people are stalking you online, they go to your page and they see you haven't posted in 2 years. What are they thinking? Stalker, creeper, is this even a real company? So it definitely affects, it's not impossible if you don't have those things, but it's definitely going to affect how well your video ad performs. Next is, how much content do you already have? And then do you currently have a sales process? If you have the best video ad in the world and you're collecting name, email, and phone number relatively, inexpensively, but you don't have a sales team to follow up. I'll give you a fun fact. If you don't call a lead quick story. I used to have a call center within my agency where we would actually call leads and schedule them for our clients. When we called those leads within 5 minutes of them inputting their information, we would reach about 70 to 75% of those people. When we waited even 30 minutes, that decreased all the way down to less than 50%. 1 hour, 25% or lower. Days later, maybe you're looking at 10, 15%. So just how fast you call back is absolutely going to matter. And then lastly, the question is, do you have complementary or alternative products to upsell or downsell? Right now, paid advertising is competitive. So the more cash that you can bring in from a product or service, the easier it is to recoup your cost of advertising, okay? So that's exercise number 1. I want you guys to, well, you can't pause this, but I want you to rewatch this, score it up, and do this with all of your top products or services. And the one with the highest score, start with that, because that's going to be your easiest win. Make sense? Y'all with me? Are you with me, dang it? All right, let's keep rocking. Okay, next thing that we want to assess is we want to identify the people who are most likely to buy that product or service. Because we get into this thing where we say, well, everyone can use it. It works for men, it works for women, but anyone who's in a relationship or married, you understand that men and women typically speak very different languages. So you should almost never advertise to them together. Again, the reason why most of your ads aren't working. So what I've done with my team is we've taken all of the targeting capabilities within Facebook and Instagram, and then we've basically turned those into questions and worksheets that you guys can fill out. So for example, and I'm not gonna go through all this right now, you'll have the worksheet, but basically this takes you step by step of identifying who that perfect person is. How old are they? What's the location they live in? Are they black? Are they white? Are they purple? Are they yellow? Are they green? Are they orange? Are they raspberry? Are they rainbow? It changes the way that people buy, okay? In addition to that, what languages do they speak? What's their education level? College graduated? No college at all? Some high school? Do they own a home? Their marital status? Do they have a birthday coming up? All of these things is I want you to fill out. So I'm gonna give you these worksheets, no reason to go all in with them now, but this is the exercise that we use every single time before we create an ad. Is first, we identify the previous exercise, and then secondly, we find out who's most likely to buy, okay? And then moving forward here, what you're going to see here are all the targeting capabilities on Facebook and YouTube. So all of that information that you're going to fill out, you're simply just going to plug it in. So if you're not techie and you're like, what are you talking about right now? When you create an advertisement on Facebook, you'll get several options of who you want to show your ad to. And all you're going to do is select those boxes, okay? Nothing crazy, nothing techie, all right? Now, let's continue on to the next section right about here. Okay, so fun tip and a cool software that I like to use to kind of make this process a lot easier. Let me pull it up right here, okay? For those of you that are going to be advertising or putting your videos on YouTube, this is huge. There's a software that we love to use. It's called, and I would write this one down, Keywords Everywhere. And if we can put that on the screen for them, is that possible, guys? To do that? Yeah, Keywords Everywhere. Put it on the screen, okay? And if you guys can look at my screen here, you're going to see what Keywords Everywhere does. Basically, whatever you search for on Google, it's going to actually tell you how many searches that those words are getting every single month. So for example, we use the example of how to start a YouTube channel. And you can see the volume, there's 40,500 searches for that a month. So that's a pretty decent audience. And you might say, hey, I'm going to start creating videos with that subject matter. So the reason why I'm introducing this to you guys is because a lot of you are creating videos on subjects that people don't give a damn about. They don't care at all. And you know that based on the search volume. So if you have Google Chrome, this is an extension that you install, and every single time you type in anything, you will know how many people are searching for it. And the other cool thing is on the right-hand side here, if you guys can zoom in for them, you can see that they'll give you related keywords to also use in case the one you typed in wasn't getting enough volume. And you know how much this costs? Free 99 plus tax, baby. It's my favorite price. I'm cheap. I don't like to pay. Anyway. Anyways, you guys get the point, okay? Keywords everywhere. Is this helpful? I'm hoping it's helpful. Is this good? Keyword? Okay, let's keep jamming. All right, hold on a second. Let me get past this. Next thing to assess. And this is kind of hard for people to do. Like I was saying earlier, most of you are going to be running video ads, and there's going to be a step after that. Meaning you collect the name, email, and phone number, but you still need to close people on the phone. Now the challenge is you, as the CEO, you're probably a strong salesperson. But when you start getting a high volume of leads and you have the rest of your responsibilities, you're going to need to pass the torch to somebody on your team. Now, here's where things get messed up, is sometimes you got a small team, you got small resources. So you just give that job to anybody. So here's a simple exercise in a worksheet where you're basically going to name every employee in the company that may be taking calls, and I want you to rate them and give them a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 1 being like, this person should not be on the phone. And the point of this exercise is this: identify who shouldn't be talking to the leads. Identify who shouldn't be talking to the leads. Now, some of you are saying like, dude, I thought we were going to talk about video today. Here's the deal. If you don't understand all of this, then the video doesn't matter. So this is why this is always step 1, okay? So you identify, put their closing ratio, the employee, give them a score, and if they're anything less than a 3, get them out of there. I would choose only 4s and 5s, period, or you're doomed before you begin, okay? Now, let's keep on rolling to, hold up. Oh yeah, next time. Okay, yeah, wait, there it is. What to say. So what I've found is that people struggle when they turn on the camera. What did I say? When they turn on this thing. It's usually you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this video. I know it's what I need to do to grow my business. You turn on your freaking camera, and then all of a sudden you just freeze and you're like, it doesn't come out, and you overthink the hell out of it. Sound familiar? Type in the chat. Is there a chat? Can I type with it? Can you somebody let me know if you can relate to this? So here's a cool exercise, several of them, to help you identify what to actually say in your video, okay? So we call this hot versus hate buttons. Hot versus hate buttons. Simple exercise that all of you can do, and this won't cost you a dime. Here's what we do, okay? First step is we list our 3 biggest competitors or collaborators, similar companies to yours. Then the next thing that we do is we search for reviews on Yelp and on Amazon. And I think I got some examples here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So like, let's say it's a handyman, you're doing videos for that, right? You go to Amazon or you go to Yelp and just look at the best reviews, the 5 stars, and look at the 1 stars. And then in the worksheet on the left there, you see it says hot buttons and hate buttons. What you want to identify is what your customers really want and what can they not stand, okay? And this is going to give you the ammo and the information of what to say in the ad. Tell them you're gonna give them the hot buttons and tell them you're not gonna give them the hate buttons. Is this making sense? And how long is that gonna take you guys? A 5-minute freaking search? The next thing that we do to identify what to talk about, and this is my favorite exercise for creating any type of advertisement, is we create this worksheet that looks like this. First thing that you're going to do is in that box up top, you're gonna write down which product or service that you're selling. And then on the left-hand side, actually, if you're at home right now, take out a blank piece of paper, draw a giant capitalized T, like the letter, a T. On the left-hand side, write problem. On the right-hand side, write solution. Now, in the beginning of this, we did an exercise to identify exactly who you're targeting and to identify exactly which product or service you're going to sell. Now, the question you ask yourself is, what's the number or what are the top 10 challenges that marketplace is facing? So for example, let's say you're a real estate agent, okay? And you're going after first-time home buyers. Well, what are the biggest problems that first-time home buyers are facing? Well, do I have enough down payment? Is my credit good enough? What are the interest rates going to be? So think about this. Now your script is easy. You do a video ad, you come up on camera and you say, hey, you're looking to buy a home for the first time, huh? I'm betting if you're like most people, you're pretty scared. You're wondering how much money you're gonna need to down. You're wondering, is your credit score good enough? You're wondering, are interest rates good? How to get a good deal? Where to find houses, etc. Guess what? I created a short and now you introduce the solution. And that's it. That's literally all you do for all your scripts. It doesn't really matter what, give me someone yell at another industry. In the back here, anybody got another industry? We can do again, just anything.
Restaurants.
Restaurants, okay? So if you're a marketer advertising to restaurants, you say, hey, if you own a restaurant, I'm guessing the number 1 challenge that you're facing is getting more butts and seats. And then the second problem that you're facing is getting butts and seats that actually like to buy stuff. Because nobody likes a Groupon user who takes all your margins and then never comes back because they're looking for the next Groupon. If that's you, then I have something for you. Anybody, give me something else. I'm feeling myself right now. We got anything else? Give me another industry. Anything? What?
Hairdresser.
Hairdresser. So remember that targeting I showed you earlier? Well, you can advertise on Facebook, that exercise we did. I asked you, does your customer have a birthday coming up? Right now, you guys can go to Facebook, advertise to people who have an upcoming birthday within 1 month. And then as a hairdresser, you can write an ad, top 3 problems that they're facing. Hey girl, it's your birthday coming up. Let's be honest. When's the last time we did something with that? Has it been a minute? You're gonna see people you haven't seen in a while. Holidays are coming up. You might be a little bit nervous. Well, guess what? Let me come blow your dry your hair for free or whatever the offer is, right? So it doesn't matter what the industry is. This formula is timeless. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, billboards, emails, text messages. This worksheet is your life. So use it and I'll give it to you for free, okay? Now continuing on. Once we figure out this exercise, okay? This is the actual script for it. It's introduction, promise to solve a problem. And then here's the part that a lot of people miss. And that's the demonstration, the demonstration. A lot of people we're in this era right now where everybody wants to talk about how great they are. So to give you an example, the way that my marketing agency really stood out is everybody would come on camera and they would say, I'm a marketer and I can bring you leads, etc. So I decided to do video advertisements that actually showed me working with the client, interviewing the client before, building the campaign out, and then showing the results. Then I would take that, mix it down to like a 5-minute video and start off like, hey, if you need more customers, let me show you what I did for boom. And then at the end of it, say, hey, if you found that helpful and you want me to do that for you too, give me a call. That's how I grew my business, is because I demonstrated in a marketplace where everybody's telling. Don't just say, come down and get your hair done. Say, by the way, I'm in the salon right now and look at this before and after. And think about this. As consumers, we're being trained to fall in love with the before and after. All the TV shows and shit that you see, like the HGTV, the buy and flip a flopper house, people love to see, this is a good word, people love to see transformation. Transformation. So if you can show them that instead of tell them that, I promise you, your advertisements will be extremely effective. And then number 4 here with this simple script is the call to action. Please have a low resistant way for people to get a hold of you, for people to get in contact with you. So like a call to action can be as simple as, here's my number, send me a text message right now and I'll give you blank. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? So an easy, low resistant call to action where they don't have to jump through hoops to actually get a hold of you, okay? So all that I just went through is on this worksheet. Would you guys like me to just give you these? If you don't answer, if you don't say something in the chat, make sure somebody note it. Don't give it to them. If they don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. Oh, you guys want to type now? Now you want to type? Okay, just say. So I'll hook you guys up with that, okay? Next thing. Now we understand the product or service that we're selling. We understand exactly who is most likely to buy because we did the exercise. We also understand what to say because we looked at the hot and the hate buttons. We did the problem solution exercise. But how do you make it entertaining? How do you make it exciting? Because think about it, when you're running these ads on social media, people are coming to be entertained. We live in a day right now where entertainment is a requirement and boring will put your ass out of business. Okay? So let's talk about this. The first 5 seconds of the ad is everything. And you'll see here in this worksheet. The first thing you want to think about is the grand entrance, meaning how are you going to show up on camera? An easy way to capture attention is literally just start out a frame. Like walk into the frame. So if I like ducked underneath this table or went left to right, like how are you going to show up? Are you going to jump out of a window? Are you going to jump out of a plane? Are you going to break through a door? Are you going to open a door? Are you going to come out of a cabinet? Are you going to come through a toilet? I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you guys get the point. A grand entrance, something different, something creative, okay? And then the next thing I want you to do is I want you to choose your tone. So a lot of you are like, well, Billy, I don't have a personality like you, right? Like I'm loud and annoying sometimes. I talk a lot of smack and have jokes. That's my thing. But what we have here is your tone. So I just have a selection of boxes, as you can see. Are you more the emotional type? Like, are you the one that can like share a story and make people cry? Stay in your lane. Are you the overly happy one? Are you great at inspiring people and being positive? Do that. Fearful, sarcastic, serious, like brutally honest. You really want to catch someone's attention? Tell them the freaking truth. People hate the truth, but they listen to it. They hear it, okay? And the last part you want to identify is what's that attention-grabbing one-liner. And I usually like to position this in the form of a question. Okay? So like, for example, if I was advertising to marketers or something right now, I would say, hey, I'd walk up to the camera and I'd knock on the camera physically and I'd say, hey, I'm talking to you. Question, do you want me to give you my best top 10 performing advertisements right here? Do you want me to email these to you right now? Okay, well, keep paying attention. Attention grabbing one-liner. What does your customer want the most? And then tease them with that. That's how you get their attention. Other huge note, and I think I'm gonna talk about this later a little bit more depth, but the biggest thing with creating videos that are going to live on social media is you have to break down the fourth wall. This is a big change because when people think of video, they think of television. In television, you just have 2 actors or actresses and they just talk with each other and you just watch it. The best performing ads on social media, though, are the ones that address you, actually talking to the person, understanding that you're someone at home that's seeing an advertisement. People are smart now. They know when they're being advertised to. So please start addressing them. It's almost insulting when you don't. So break down the fourth wall. That's a theater term for my thespians out there. Shout out. Okay. Now, continuing on. The setup. Okay. How do you make your videos entertaining? And what do you actually need? So I'm going to give you guys some tactical video tips here. And all you need to film is your cell phone. To reiterate, some of our best performing ads are shot with a cell phone, just walking and talking. But I will one-up you. A lot of you have more than one cell phone because you upgraded and you have it sitting there and you're not using it for anything. I highly encourage you to use at least 2 cameras, okay? And one of those cameras you typically have tight, where you can actually see your face, because the emotion, being able to see my eyes, being able to see me smile, that's where the connection is created. But then the second camera that you have, you want to be wide, and that's to establish the scene and tell the people what's happening. So for example, if it's too tight, then you have no idea that person's at a beach on the mountains, or there's other people around them, whatever. So you can only tell so much of the story. So the tight shot for emotion, the wide shot to establish what the heck is going on. And then if you want to get really like cute, go with a third, and we just call that the alternate shot, which is just something weird, like maybe a really low set camera, maybe some drone footage, maybe just something different. And that's used as a pattern interrupt. That's used to get people to keep paying attention. So right now, if you look at this angle too long, you're naturally going to drift. But if they switch to this camera, and then switch to this camera, and then switch to this camera, we're subconsciously grabbing your attention again and again. So give people different looks. And again, that could all be done with cell phones. Is this helpful, you guys? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Or is this like not what you thought it? Well, regardless, I'm still keep going because hopefully you are. I don't know, but let's keep rocking. Okay. There's the worksheet for the camera angles: close up, wide angle, alternate. Okay, different shots create different emotions. Let me see if I do. I have it. Let me. Can we play a video? Can we show them? Let's show you guys. So we did this like Bill Burgundy ad, which was me being Ron Burgundy, for like promoting a course or something. But I want you to pay attention to the use of angles. Watch this video and look at when we're doing the tight versus when we're doing the wide, and how they're doing their different roles. It's a little weird. Just, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need your attention. I don't know how else to put this, but the offer that Billie Jean's Marketing is giving to you on Black Friday is kind of a big deal.
It's almost Black Friday here at Genius Studios, and I can assure you, there's no one quite as prepared as this gentleman to my left. He's number one in line, he's an entrepreneur, and his name is Leonard Johnson. Leonard, why the heck did you come out here so early?
Because Facebook and Instagram are getting really competitive, and my business needs that Billie Jean YouTube training. I'm here at Genius Studios. What's up, Billy?
Woo!
And I just wanted to be number one in line, and I'm number one already.
And let me tell you, he's not alone. If you're here right now because you're excited about this YouTube training, make some noise. As you can see here. All right. And Leonard, to be fair, your methodology to be one of the first 99 wasn't exactly orthodox. Can we take a tour of your digs? Let's go.
So Leonard, let us know, what the heck is going on in here?
Sure, Bill. So I got my TV, I got my little friend, little cutie, baking cakes. Hey. And I even got a crock pot.
Let me tell you, this entrepreneur is cooking up something special, but I assure you, he's not the only one. And to be completely honest, I haven't seen hysteria of me. And to be completely honest, the hysteria that I'm seeing around Billie Jean's YouTube course reminds me of the release of Beanie Babies. All right, and this is probably the strangest things of my 20 years of broadcasting that I've ever seen.
Sir, it would appear at first glance that you're sitting on some sort of portable toilet. Sir, can you speak to this?
Yeah, this is a crapper. I'm not going to let my IBS get in the way of me turning my business